These are my 12 new build and renovation mistakes to avoid. And hi, if you're new here, my name's Aoife. I'm an interior designer and I'm a first-time homeowner. And if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, I definitely advise that you go watch that. Because in that video, there are 2 mistakes. Mistake 1, and I think it was mistake 3 or 4, are the most important mistakes to spot on every home. And if you just spot those 2, it's going to save you so much heartache and so much money. So let's get into it. This is mistake number 7, not having a comprehensive design plan. And no, design is not just color. Without a proper plan, decisions get made on a whim on site. I'm talking about your lighting, your electrics, your sanitary ware, even small details like a built-in shower shelf, because this needs to be planned before the walls are up, which isn't a huge thing to plan and it's not a huge cost. But if it's something you really want, and you add it in after the walls are up, it's going to cost you, both in time and money. Same with changing your lighting locations, your electrical locations, where your toilet is going to go, so they need to be planned early. So if possible, before any building work starts on your home, you need to have your finished layouts, which includes your wall and your furniture layouts, your lighting layouts, your electrical layouts, and your plumbing locations. If you haven't, definitely watch part 1 of this video where I go into detail about your furniture layout and tips for your lighting and electrics. For your bathroom vanity taps, do you want them coming from the wall or do you want them mounted on the counter? If you want them mounted on the wall, you need to tell your builder ahead of time. Something like this, and this, all of these items need to be planned with your builder before he starts any work, because it may affect your budget and it's definitely going to affect how he builds the space. Having a comprehensive design plan is just going to make sure that you and your builder are aligned. It's also going to give you a much more realistic budget of the build and avoids retrofitting, which again always costs more time and money. Mistake number 8. Prioritizing design over function, because a home that looks good but never functions right is never going to feel right, and that is not good design. Design should always follow function. Your home can't just look good on Instagram. You need to think how you live in the space, how you move through it, and above all, how you want to feel in it. This is so important to any interior, because interior design at the end of the day is all about how it makes you feel. A classic example is a kitchen island. I talked about this in my last video as well and gave it as an example because it's something that comes up a lot in the studio. People are adamant that they want an island in their kitchen, but the floor space simply does not allow for an island. And no, a 2-seater island never looks good, because if the island doesn't fit comfortably into the space, forcing it is just going to make it look awkward and feel uncomfortable. And with good planning and thinking about this in advance, you can look at alternatives. What you have to do is let function lead, because the space is never going to be comfortable if it doesn't function. I love adding a kitchen peninsula. It gives the same function as an island. You can have that casual dining space. You can be in the kitchen when friends come over and you're cooking, and they can be sitting at the peninsula drinking a glass of wine. Or if the kids are home from school and you want to make them snacks, but you want to make sure they're doing their homework, they can be up on the peninsula. A peninsula and an island give that more communal feel in a kitchen. One is just more compact. So the kitchen peninsula can give you the counter space, the workspace, the casual dining space without breaking circulation, taking up too much of your valuable floor space. Anyway, that's just one example on how function always has to come first before design. Because the last thing you want is people to be in your home or you to be in your home and feel uncomfortable or just think something just isn't right here. This we definitely want to avoid in our new build or renovation or any interior. Another good example is natural materials. If you haven't heard, every designer is obsessed with natural materials, and for good reason. They're gorgeous, because a natural marble and a hardwood floor, timeless. And yes, they're always going to trump an LVT or a quartz. But if you're not going to look after your marble and you have a busy household and you don't want dents in your floor, then functionally they don't work for you. And that's where an LVT, luxury vinyl tile, or a quartz can work better. I would love to put all natural materials into every home. I would love to put it into my own home. But I know how myself and Barry are. I couldn't have a marble kitchen counter. Oh my God, I would love it. But marble is porous. And you can guarantee that someday my husband could forget and there could be a tea bag on the counter. And with a porous material, that means the counter will be stained. And that wouldn't be good for anyone, especially my husband. So instead, I went for a Cosentino, which is a man-made material and it's very durable. Aesthetically, it looks great, and functionally, it does the job that myself and my husband need. Mistake number 9, overlooking storage. This is definitely one that clients ask me about all the time when they're revamping their home. No one ever has enough storage. I consider storage to be one of the most important parts of any home, and it's often the thing that's completely overlooked. When you walk into the hallway, where are you going to put your keys? Where are you going to hang your coat? If you're like me and you're no shoes home, where do you put your shoes? Because you do not want a stack of shoes to be the first thing you see when you enter your home. That's instantly just giving us a lot of clutter and make us feel uncomfortable the minute we enter our home. For the best storage, it's usually going to have to be either a fantastic DIY or hiring a craftsman, a carpenter, or a joiner to fit these items. And of course, that is costly. Just plan for it. Hallway and entrance storage is especially important. And of course, another area to think of is built-in wardrobes in your bedrooms. Built-in is always going to utilize every bit of space that you can. Again, it's not saying that you need all these things before you move in. It's more so to plan for it. So if you're going to put your bed on the back wall, make sure that you have enough room on the opposite wall or the wall near it or somewhere else in the room to eventually build in that storage if you want it. Mistake number 10, buying furniture on a whim. This is so common before people move into their homes or when they just move in. Impulse buying before checking. You might get away with that for an outfit, but for your home, definitely not. Furniture bought without checking sizes and the sample colors often doesn't work. A room, of course, can look good piece by piece, but it still needs to function well together. So what to do instead? It's so simple. Always measure first. Check circulation and traffic flow, check your door swings, and that you have sufficient space between each furniture piece. Again, I can go into so much more detail here about furniture ergonomics, what type of sofa works well for you. For example, this would be a more formal living room layout, and this would be a more casual living room layout. If you would like me to deep dive more into this, just let me know in the comments below. Mistake number 11, following trends instead of what you actually love. Don't get me wrong, I love an interior trend and I love to look into interior trends. Do I base my designs for clients or my home on interior trends? Absolutely not. And unfortunately, this is a really common mistake that I often see happen, especially with new builds. I think people feel pressure to follow what's trending at the time, or because whatever is trending is what you're going to see a lot in furniture stores. When you see something so much, you're like, oh, maybe I actually do really love that. Or maybe it's your brain just saying, aha, I saw this before. Aha, I saw this before. I saw it on Instagram. I'm now seeing it in the showroom. And it can get overwhelming. But trends move quickly. Your home does not. And if you design your home purely on trends, it can date very quickly. And above all, it's never going to feel like you. And your home should always be a reflection on you. So what to do instead? What you can do is ask yourself, do you genuinely love this, or have you just seen it a lot? What colors do you naturally gravitate towards? What materials do you keep saving? What spaces make you feel comfortable, calm, and excited? What I like to do with clients in an initial consultation is actually go through every single Pinterest image that they have. Okay, maybe we'll cap it at like 50 or something. And when I'm looking at these images, I'll often find something that is repeated. And when I see something that's repeated a lot, I'll ask them, why did you select this? Why do you like this? Then for other images, I could be looking at something that is a full kitchen, but it might just be one little element that the client loved. So ask yourself these questions when you are looking at inspirational images. What do I love about this image? Could I live with this interior scheme? Will it function in my space? And if you're completely confused and you don't know whether you love a trend or not, or you've just seen it a lot, I would say stick to getting items that are easily replaced. So that's a side table, maybe some decor, cushions. These are all great ways to include trends without going overboard. There's so much more to you and your home. So use them lightly and let your personality take the lead. Always go for curated over quickly furnished. This is how you're going to create a timeless interior and not a trend-led interior. You want your space to be considered and designed around how you actually want to live. Because a curated interior is always better than a quickly furnished interior. Items that are gathered over time through travel, hand-me-downs, vintage finds, and then some new pieces. Trends are great to introduce us to old styles that we may have forgotten about, but they are never to be followed religiously. I know this can be hard, especially when there's so many trends in our face on every social platform, but it really is just about taking your time before you purchase anything for your home. Again, if you want me to go into more detail about this, just let me know in the comments below and I will absolutely do that. Mistake number 12. This is a big one and it puts so much unnecessary pressure on people. There's this idea that before you move in, every room has to be perfect and finished. I think it's nearly even keeping up with the Joneses. Furniture bought, decor done, everything decided. Because decision fatigue isn't a thing. It is, by the way. And honestly, when you have too many things to think about and too many decisions to make, that's when mistakes are made. Personally, I'm taking my own home room by room. Not because I don't have an overall vision, of course I do. I've moved from the city to the country, so I'm going with an overall heritage, vintage, historic vibe. In a new build, I know, but throughout the house, that's the vibe we're going for. But I'm also designing my home around my real life. I work Monday to Friday on other people's homes. And at the weekends and in the evening, I can look at my own. That's when I actually have time. And when you're working with an interior designer full-time, yes, you can plan every single room, every single detail, because you're paying someone to do that. Someone is actively working on your home every day to make sure every detail is accounted for. I actually heard this little tidbit or saying from a supplier of mine. What if we treated our life goals as our full-time job? We'd give them our full time and energy, not just our leftover energy. I love interior design, but there's a lot more things I like to do at the weekends than thinking about my house. I like to hang out with my husband. I like to hang out with my puppy. I like to see family and friends. And that's how I'm designing my home. I'm not putting myself under pressure to have it all done and affect these other areas of life that are really important to me. Basically what I'm trying to say is most homeowners, new homeowners, people renovating, people who are time poor or working full time or have young children trying to finalize every room before they move in just puts so much pressure on people and it's unrealistic. And again, it just opens us up to make more mistakes and make decisions, honestly, without thinking them through properly. What I find works so much better is focusing on key rooms. Your kitchen. This is the heart of the home. This is the space where most people spend most of their time with their family and their friends. And having this 90% or 100% finished, I would say is much more important than having every room finished 70%. I don't know where I'm getting my percentages from, but I really hope you get that. The kitchen is a key room, your living room and your dining room. And then of course, the primary bedroom. It's our sanctuary, so this being finished or nearly finished can be a bonus. These are the spaces you live in every day. The other rooms, especially when it comes to furniture and decor, don't have to be perfect and can absolutely be finished and tweaked once you move into your home. And it just means that you can focus in on specific areas that are the important areas and give them much more time and attention. And your head isn't just going from room to room to room and then getting really confused, really overwhelmed, and that's when decision fatigue starts to go in. Even when I'm working with clients, it's very rare that I will go through every single design for every single room in their home. I like to break it up so they don't feel overwhelmed. And if you don't have the time to do a full plan with a designer or by yourself, I feel this is the next best thing. But look, follow the renovation series and see how I get on. Good design takes time, and you don't want to make decisions or purchases when you're under pressure. Okay guys, that's it. That's my 12 mistakes to avoid in your new build or when you're renovating. I really hope you found this helpful. And I'd really love to know in the comments below what you guys thought of this, both in part 1 and part 2. And if you expected something different or you thought I could have done something better, I'd genuinely love to hear that too. And I'd love to hear if there's any other videos you'd like to see, because I'm new to YouTube. So please, I'm welcoming all the feedback. And if you did like it, please hit the subscribe button. And definitely follow along as I'm going to be documenting my own new build. And that's where we're going to put my tips to the test. See you in the next one.